I'm not purposely trying to pick a fight with my friend. And I'm not purposely egging on a fight. Never. But if a fight comes, I'm genuinely a little bit like, ooh, this is exciting. I get to see if I like hit that deeper level of friendship with this person. Or if this person stays a casual friend. Because I need to see how people fight. Because again, I'm so sensitive. You know this about me. I'm so sensitive.
That's the thing. Like,
I'm such a little baby.
my mom has always told me it's like you don't know who they are until you've worked with them. And I put that into like a lot of aspects in my life where it's like I don't know who you truly are unless you're like until I see you under pressure. I was like, Ultra was just telling us about what
a good one.
Love bombing was. So I get it now. Like, yeah, it's like I feel like I don't know someone unless they're like really under pressure and then they're about to break, right? And then it's like, how do you react? Like, are you the type that's like lashing out to people, or do you handle this nicely? Stuff like that. So it's like that's when I can categorize it. But I will say this: I would love to be like, no, bestie, I get you. Right? Like, I don't start conflict. I do. But like, as long as I'm not involved, and that's the issue. That is my biggest red flag. I'm not gonna start the conflict, but if there is already conflict happening between two people and I'm not involved and they just tell me about it, I would egg it on. I know that. I know it's toxic. We're talking about red flags here. I'm honest. I'm not gonna be like, oh, guys, my red flag is that I'm really nice to animals. No, this is my honest.
My red flag is I have bad breath in the morning sometimes. Okay, wait, Mochi. Red flag. I love gossip, especially when it's not about me. Other people's gossip. If somebody's like, oh, I heard this, I'd be like,
Same.
I love it. That's why, like, I don't, today, for example, I talked about, not to get too, you'll probably, Mochi, you'll probably see it on one of those channels that's like, Matara Khan said this about Hollywood. But today I talked about it a little bit. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I think this is why I very much, even though both you and I went through a lot of hell, I somewhere in my mind genuinely forgive. First of all, a lot of those people were very young, so I don't blame them. Like, I don't think they realize how much pain they caused us, and it's fine because they're so young and they won't get it. Like, I get it. You're a child. Not a child, you're a teenager. But another part of it is like, I get it because I've also been in that part of my life where like, I like to gossip. I like to be like, oh my God, no, she said what? Oh, he did that? No way. So because of that, I genuinely get it if people do the same.
Oh my God. Okay. I will agree to that. I do that too. Like, listen, chat. Is this really a red flag? Yes. But at least it's not too bad. Okay. Sometimes when it gets too bad, you're like, okay, let's reel it in. Let's just reel it in a little bit. But if it's like, oh my God, this happened, I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah. It's not like, it's like, oh, did you hear? Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I'm not gonna involve other people. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, Mata, come watch. Like, of course not. It's my thing. So I'll be like, oh my God, you feel this way? Don't even stress. And I'm like, no way they did that.
Yeah.
You should do something about it.
Not you. I should
tell them. You should.
Okay. All jokes aside, there's only ever one situation very recent. Well, not very. Over a year ago that I told you about, and you're like, Matara, don't do anything. Don't talk about it. Don't speak. Like, so if anything, all jokes aside, you actually were like, don't get engaged. Like, not don't get it. Sorry.
Don't get married. Divorce.
No, that's not the thing.
Consume that guy.
No, she meant like, don't engage with.
Okay, like, I know my boundaries.
Don't get engaged, Matara. Eat him instead.
I know the boundaries. I'm not gonna egg something. If it's like genuinely dangerous, I'm gonna be like, okay, don't. But if it's like light banter, sure. So that's what I mean when I'm like, sometimes I like starting trouble. Because like,
don't
if
get
it's
engaged.
like little trouble, like if it's small, tiny issues, why not? But if it's like a big thing, I'm like, okay, honestly, don't do it. Like, it's not worth it. I know it sucks. It's not worth it though. Just my honest truth. Like, I'm not gonna egg on actual serious shit that's gonna impact people's lives. But if it's like, oh my God, this person like said they don't like blue, but my favorite color is blue, and I'm pissed about it. I'm like, oh my God, you tell them you have an issue with them because they hate you. Period. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes like when I dig my grave, I remember I told you like, I dig my grave, I lay in it. Sometimes it's an accident where I thought people are kidding. Like, have you heard, like, sometimes people would tell you things and you just think it's like they're joking because it's like, it's not something.
Because it's so comical and crazy.
Yeah, it's like genuinely, if I'm like, oh, Mata said that Mata liked Kaysan, which mean Mata hates me. That's like, it's such an absurd way of thinking that you must be joking.